So in the seller, you can, it's almost, they're like widgets, like you take this out and you put this here. So like with the seller, I'm going to get I need to have my property listed for sale. Okay. So, price is always at the top of the list when it comes to selling your home. In the market we are in right now, the condition of your home is 100% at the top of the list. That's probably number one, because there's an expectation based on the price you put on that home of what the buyer is going to be looking at when you walk into that property. Okay. If it's a fixer-upper, the property should be priced as a fixer-upper, and it should be noted in your MLS that it's a fixer-upper. But as far as like step that you want to take when you're the perfect seller, obviously you're going to interview someone from the Ferzoco group to list your home for sale. If there's anything that you're looking to do to the property that you want to do before it's listed, you have those things taken care of. Now, sometimes a seller will say to me, hey, I'm going to look to renovate my bathroom. I'm going to update the kitchen. So am I going to get more money for this, for that, or I'm going to put new carpets in, things like that. And it's like, well, you don't have to put the new carpets in unless they're like, 15 years old. Like if they're just like you're looking to put new, are you putting the new carpets for yourself, or are you putting the new carpets in for the new buyer? Because if they're for yourself, all right, what's your commitment level to selling? If it's the buyer, don't. Because you may put in, some sort of earthy color and they want white or they want black. That doesn't work for them. So, you kind of want to look at some things like there's not necessarily going to be a return on what you're putting to the property. And I'm not talking about like gutting your property. Gutting your kitchen and redoing the whole thing with all top-end appliances, quartz countertops, backsplashes, and all that. I'm not talking about that. That's a different animal. You're not going to list a home until you're done with that anyways. I'm talking, there are some things that people want to kind of get done before they list the home. They want to have someone come in. They want to have all the carpets shampooed. They want to, make sure that the hardwood floors are all buffed out and ready to go. All of the appliances are working. One of the kitchen cabinets doesn't close properly. So you just kind of get those little things taken care of, because people want to do that. The yard, the curb presentation. When they first pull up out front, that it's not an eyesore. It's very easy on the eyes when you pull up. The immediate response is, wow, okay, and that's for any property. You're just walking up and you immediately have this good feeling about the property that you're having. So that, that's first and foremost. Of course, where are they going to come in? They're coming in the front door. They're coming in the side door. They're coming in your kitchen. They're coming in your laundry room. Like, you want them to come in the front door, the most elegant place for which they can come through. Now, sometimes you don't have an option. But if they're coming through the front door, it's going to give the first impression when someone first opens the door. Laundry room doesn't necessarily do that. I mean, maybe you don't have a choice, but they're coming through the front door. So you've taken care of the outside. You have gotten that up to, we can call it market standards. Again, it's easy on the eyes when you pull up. The landscaping's done, the grass is cut. If you do mulch, the mulch is done. All that kind of stuff. Trees are trimmed. And you're ready to go. The gutters are not overflowing with leaves and that kind of stuff. It's power washed if you're looking to do something like that. So it's very good on the curb appeal. You walk into the property, everything that you've kind of wanted to take care of that you feel as though should have been, you've done. You've sort of cleaned up the place a little bit inside. You've done away with the clutter. Beds are all made. Sofas and pillows are fluffed and all that kind of stuff. If you have a fireplace, the fireplace works, and you're ready. Now you're ready to list the home for sale. Photographer comes in, can do all the photos. You've got your price. Boom. Now you're listed. That's what you want.